Hey guys, it's Mike with another Gilded Guardians video. We're looking at the Building Blocks event. We're back on the main account. We do have another day or so on this event, but I think that this will probably be the last time I'm able to post before the event's over. So I'll definitely keep you posted on the results, but this will probably be the last video I get where I can actually show you what I'm doing and hopefully provide some information that'll help you with your teams. One thing I did want to note, every time you come in here it sends you back to Novice, so be careful not to waste your ticket on Novice unless you're farming there. But I did that last night and it was kind of frustrating. So what we got going on the main account here is we do have Zol up here at 140. His gear is pretty decked out because he's using the same gear as some of my main team members. We have Calix here at level 165. We did have to create extra T6 gear because I only had one set of strength gear because I'm running Tuskrog. I have 3 sets of intelligence gear and 1 set of agility gear. So because we're running Calix and Tokton with a double tank, we need 2 sets of strength gear. So it started spreading my gear out, and as you can see, it's actually not a bad piece of gear, but I can only level up to level 1 because I just don't have enough resources, and I couldn't salvage my other set because I need it for my main team. So I'm kind of stretched a little thin on gear for this account. I hope to get these up to level 3, maybe level 6, but that's probably stretching it. Batu is in my agility gear right off of Darizda, and Ferulia is taking the gear right from Flix. So with Tokton here, we've got him on 1 piece of Tuskrog's gear at 6 stars, and everything else is just trying to supplement. But I did bring his level up to 160 to hopefully get his survivability up a little bit. We also got him in HP for Darizda's crossbow, and I was fortunate enough to pick up a Darizda's crossbow that has the stats we were looking for, so that was kind of fun on a side note. Where's that? One has attack at least. It's somewhere around here. There it is, attack with crit rate. So I was super excited when I pulled that. It was my 5th and final opportunity to get it, and I did get it on the main account. But that's a different story altogether. So we're gonna stick to the rares here. We're gonna move them in and jump into the building blocks and see how we do. I have been actually farming. When I went through master, I could get to room like 23, 24, but going into legendary, I actually am getting higher scores. So my high score is coming out of legendary, even though I haven't even been able to get to room 23 yet. I think it's because of the way all the curses stack up on you. By the time you get to the mid-20s, it doesn't matter what level you're fighting on, you're pretty much gonna die just because of all the curses on you. So with the legendary, you're getting twice as many points in those lower rooms, and so it tends to work out a little better. So we get our team together here. We've got Calix and Tokton up in the front, Batu, Ferulia, and Zol in the back. We're gonna get this rolling. We do roll through those first several rooms pretty quickly, even though it is on legendary. And the team composition, I think the 2 tanks is the way to go. I've tried some other things on the free-to-play account. I do think Herc has a lot of merit on the free-to-play, but I don't feel like he would fit into this team all that well. I think potentially I could bring in Herc instead of Tokton and then and run it that way. But with the gear that I have on him, I'm pretty sure Herc would be way too squishy to be functional. So I might try that tomorrow just in an effort to push my high score up as much as I can, but right now this team seems to be the way to go. So charm in this works out pretty well, but not as well as other things because the boss fight is significantly more difficult than the waves. So when you come into the boss fight, obviously she's not going to be charmed by herself because she doesn't have anybody else to attack, so she just comes right at you. And the other piece that's really difficult is the boss almost always gets that immunity for 5 seconds when you kill her. And the struggle with that is when she dies, she gets 5 seconds, she's just beating you up. And a lot of times you'll lose a player or 2 in that 5 seconds. And it's just kind of frustrating because you're like, I killed you, but you're not dead. So like right now, she's just going to start beating them up. Now, fortunately, we're on a low enough level, those hits don't hit hard. But when she goes on that rampage, she can do a lot of damage really quick. So we'll keep pressing on. I'll bring you back in when we start to struggle so you can kind of see how the team is getting on. It'll probably be around room like 12 or 13, but I don't know there's really a huge benefit to you watching me blaze through these first several rooms. So here we are, even in room 8, you can see the damage that the boss does to our characters. Now Ferulia should be able to keep these guys kind of topped off, but when she goes off on that rampage, like, she can drop somebody dead pretty quick. Now when we get into the waves aren't nearly getting us anywhere near this kind of danger. So I'm pretty sure every time I've lost in this entire event, it has been on a boss fight. The waves are typically not the problem. My team is almost entirely keepers with the exception of Toketun. So anytime I can get crit rate and crit damage on my team, that's great. Toketun's really there to be a punching bag anyway, so he's not really doing a lot of damage. So my entire team just picked up crit damage and crit rate, which is going to be a huge win. And you definitely would want to go that route over the charm and so forth if you have the option. In that other room, I went with charm because that's what was available. But this team is actually pretty effective. It does a pretty good job. I think that you potentially could take out Toketun and try to get in a Herc or even a Yalmar, but I do feel like Toketun kind of does a little better than Yalmar. Although I have noticed that when the boss is hitting him, he has his ult ability going, he's supposed to actually reflect damage onto her. But I think he's taking the damage too. So he takes the damage and reflects it back as well. So, but his life does go down, which I think if it didn't, that he would be way more viable. Because I think the only way to hit him is with magic damage, and then he's only accepting half of that. That being said, the boss's damage could be magic, and then I'm just seeing the half damage she's doing that ticks on him. But I think this kind of one of those things where you read the words and then the way it plays out is a little different, but it's just kind of a matter of understanding what reflect damage means, I guess. But we're learning as we go. So we got Adept here with 2. We get 5 for everybody. We're full bellied. We're gonna grab that one because we did get the keeper. I think we've got 2 or 3 of the keeper crit rates. So 5% is probably not going to be a huge win as much as getting 50% of our defense as added attack. We'll grab this shield here. Kind of getting to that point where we should start skipping curses. So if anything is kind of, maybe we shouldn't, then I'll probably skip it. But 15% shield isn't really that bad. But here we go with Toketun here. He's going to hopefully do his ability here soon. She's going to heal. That's the other thing. If you take it off auto and use her heal strategically on the tanks when they need it, you could probably do a little better. But as I'm talking through the video, so right now he should be reflecting damage. And you can see he's still taking damage. He dodged a couple of those when she hits him. But if you do take it off auto and you actually heal specifically Toketun and specifically Calyx or your other tank, you'd probably do a little better. But for me, I'm talking through it and I'm doing this and trying to click on this and remember which strategy I'm trying to do. It's just a lot for my brain. So I just go with auto and just say, hey, at least I'm running my abilities when I can. So we'll go through here. We'll probably have a few more rooms in us, so I'll press on. I'll bring you back in when we're struggling a little more. So here we are in room 14. We already lost Calyx and Toketun the last time, and so we had to reset and try to recalibrate and adjust. I think what we're going to do is we're actually going to try... I'm going to put my money where my mouth is. I'm going to take it off auto and try to be more strategic with Ferulia's heals to get them through this. So we're going to put it back how it was because it seemed to be like it was working out a little better. But we are going to take it off auto and then try to use our abilities as they come. And then when Ferulia has her ability, wait until somebody's a little bit lower on health. Like right now would be great. Would be good. Get it out there. Hurry up. Get Batu. Try to use everybody else's abilities as often as we can. But it tends to be as she's working through. Yeah, so she's just going through Toketun. I don't know that we're going to be able to get through this without. Well, she's dead now. So we lost Toketun. And again, we're on room 14. And so it's kind of tough. But if you go through the other levels, you're looking at significantly higher. I did that because I thought I had Rizza, but that's actually Toketun who just died. So that was good. But when you start going through the deeper levels of the previous challenges, it's just you get so many curses on you that it just destroys you. Like even if you're powerful enough to be there. the curses just stack up. All right, so we're on to the boss fight again. Without Tokton in the waves, it seemed to be okay. Inhibition, exhaustion, and fragmented armor. We're at a place we should definitely be skipping curses because we're not going to live that much longer. I believe our high score is right around 68,000. So I don't think we're going to get it this time just because room 14 took out Tokton. But we will give it a shot here and see about getting through this. Now, this can be a little bit of an advantage here. As he dies. When you have one tank up front, because as a single target healer, she's always going to heal Calyx, as opposed to spreading her heals between Calyx and Tokton. So that can work in your favor sometimes, but you're also, all of your damage is going on to one tank instead of getting separated between the two, which is part of the reason why Tuskarog is so effective. Yeah, she's killing him in one hit, so I don't know, there's not a lot we can do about that. I think that's about it for this run. Tuskarog's so effective because he summons that wolf and it gives an extra punching bag to spread out that damage. So it does kind of help out in that space. So 56,000 this time. We do have a couple runs. Oh, we're at 64,000. So in the rankings here, we are in the top 1,000, but you can see everybody's pressing their accounts on quite a bit. And I don't think I have that much more in me. I'm gonna be able to adjust my gear a little bit and improve it a little bit. I might be able to get up to 70,000 maybe if I can get through an extra room or two. So that might put me into maybe the top 500, but I think if we're in that top 1,000, that's probably about where we're gonna be. So when we break down the leaderboard, like we're at right here in this category, I think we should be able to stay here. But if we can get in the top 600, we'd actually get twice as many summoning stones. So that wouldn't be that bad. But I'm going to switch gears. We're going to flip over to the free-to-play account, and we're going to run that and see how we do over there. All right, so we're over on the free-to-play account. We got Herc decked out at level 122 with our best gear, not to mention the highest HP on the crossbow. Because he has our best gear, we got Tokton up to level 130 with our second best gear, and then I think he had a defense on his crossbow. So we have Batu over here at 130. He's going to be in HP boots, and we did get him a defense on the crossbow. And then we have Zol over here with defense on the crossbow and HP on the boots. Ideally, both of them would probably be in attack boots because they're in the back row. They're not taking a lot of damage, but I'm using what I got. And then Ferulia, we do have her in attack boots because her heals are based on her attack. So in the skill, it's going to be a percentage of her attack that she's actually healing our members. So we want that to be a pretty good heal. So we do have her in attack boots, and then also HP on the crossbow. So that's what we got going on. 110, 110, 130, 130, and 122. And we have utilized every asset we have to get this team where it is. This is actually the last time I'm going to run building blocks on the free-to-play account, just because I don't think I'm going to advance the team significantly more than this by tomorrow, and switching all the gear back and forth is a huge pain. Just enlightening all the characters 5 times just takes forever. So this is going to be the best we do. So we're going to put in our high score hopefully today and beat what we have on the books already. But we're going to give it a shot and see where we end up. I need to get out of here because it put me in novice. I might actually, let's see here, on expert, did we get Patty? We did get in between here. I'm actually going to just try master, because on my main account, I didn't think I would be farming legendary, but I ended up getting my high score in legendary. So, and I think we talked about all those curses stacking up on you so fast that the early levels of master might be able to outweigh some of those points. So our current high score is 39,400. We're going to go in here on master and see if that works. All right, we'll bring you back in. We're on into room, what are we, 14 maybe? And we did lose, room 11. We're in room 11. They're not even to 14. We did lose Tokton, so we're going to kind of reassess it and switch their location. Hopefully we can get a heal out on them to keep them alive. That still didn't work. All right, let's try again. You see Ferulia's heal came right in there, so we barely missed it. I'm actually going to switch him with Zol and just slow him down a bit. Maybe that'll get us to that Ferulia heal, as he has to run up there now. So we'll give that a shot. Hopefully Herc doesn't take on a bunch of damage in the meantime. But yeah, this is looking a little better. We got both of them set. So if she hits Herc, Herc's gonna die. But hopefully we can get through this with all of our characters. They're so close. That 5 seconds gets us every time. God, that 5 seconds. It's just rough. It's just so rough. We did get 200 scrolls, so that's a big win. We got Charm for 3 seconds, but like we talked about, Charm, the waves aren't the problem. The boss is the problem. And Charm doesn't work on the boss, so it doesn't really help us. So there's our little man down there. Man down! We left him behind. So yeah, we're going back into a boss fight. So chances are we're probably going to die right here. Having all of our damage going to one character right out of the gate. We're going to skip the curse because if we can make it through here, that's when we're going to start seeing that high score creep up. But we need every chance we can to get through this level. There goes Herc, super fast. Barely missed it though, so we're going to go ahead and adjust this. Maybe if we move him, let's move him back behind Batu. And then go again. Maybe by the time he gets up there, Ferulio will get that heal off before he dies. There we go. So now he's got that heal on him, and he died anyway. Now Batu's up there just getting beat down. So it does not look like we're going to be able to get through that. She is just way overpowered for us. So we turned in 32,000 on Master. We did get those 200 scrolls. So I am going to consider that a victory. Alright, so we do have one more ticket for free. So we're going to go ahead and run this back on Expert and see if we can go further than 39,000. I think we got kind of close on Master, but I think we have a better chance over here just because that boss gets overpowered really quickly and our team is not that powerful. So we'll get our tanks up front, or warrior and tank up front. We got our snipers in the back with our healer. We'll get into this and I'll bring you back in when we start to struggle. Alright, bringing you back in for room 19. We lost Token and Herc in the last room. So that was very unfortunate, but we did get through the boss, but she's just plowing away. She's taking us out. So I don't know we're going to get a new high score today. I think the 39,000 might be about what we get. We must have had some better RNG when we ran that. I mean, there's still the potential, but I don't have any frontline protection here, so I'm just getting beat down. So none of these guys are built with high levels of defense or HP. They're designed to do some damage. So we'll see. We made it through another room, which is kind of impressive. We don't have a tank, so that's not going to help us. We don't have... Oh, we have one Redeemer. Who's our Redeemer? I think Zol. Zol's our Redeemer. All right, we'll grab the Redeemer aspect. We're going back to a boss fight, so it doesn't matter because she's going to kill us. We don't have anybody to stop her from running right up and just slapping us in the face. So that's about where we're at. So I'm not sure where we're in the... We might as well take the Baron, or we skip the curse. Seeing how we have the dungeon coins. I was hoping to utilize those a little later into the run, but the last battle just took our two guys up front right out. So I'm pretty sure she's going to take us out here. I'd be amazed if we made it through this. But all in all, it was a pretty fun event. I did like that it forced us to utilize rare characters and kind of play with teams that we hadn't really worked with before and change up our compositions and kind of have a good time with it. My big takeaway here is it might be worthwhile to have an extra set of every type of gear, because when these events come to be, if you have that extra set of gear, it's probably going to benefit you in a major way. The tough thing is it's just like building a 6th character. If you're not putting all of your resources into 5 sets of gear, you're not as powerful as you can be. So I don't know. I'm on my main account. I'm on to gear 6. I think that's the top right now. Although they were mentioning something about gear 7 in the town hall meeting. We're at 39.4, so we're in the top 1,500. So a lot of people have really stepped up since we were playing this last. Let's see what kind of rewards we can get for being in the top 1,500. I mean, it's kind of cool that the rewards go down this deep. I mean, you're only getting gold, but the fact that at least you participated and had a good time. We're in 1,500, so that puts us right here. So we are right outside of getting the summoning stones. We're going to get 20,000. It seems to me they could combine all of these, seeing how they're all 20,000 gold, into one category. But that's all right. So they're basically just telling me I'm a bottom feeder. So hopefully through this series, it helped you build your team and you learned some stuff and it made you do a little better. I think all in all, 40,000 points isn't nothing to frown at with an account that's been open for 29 days or whatever it's been. So I'm pretty impressed and pleased with what we got there. I'm glad that we got a chance to go through it, and I really thought the event itself was pretty fun. My biggest downfall to the event is that we had to switch all of our gear, all of our enlightenments, all of our scrolls to all of those players every time. And it literally probably took me 15 to 20 minutes every time I had to do that. So, yeah, I mean, it's not the end of the world, but it's not exactly fun either for those 15 minutes. I kind of felt like I was just doing a chore. So hopefully they have a way where they can say, hey, I want to move all of these resources onto this champion, and it just does that. I think that would be a much faster way to get that done. And then when you're resetting the champion, maybe it gives you the opportunity not to reset their enlightenments, where you can choose whether or not you want to do that, because enlightening the character, going through the animations 5 times 5 characters, it just adds up. It adds up, and you spend a lot of time in the game. But outside of that, a fun event. I hope this was helpful for you guys. If you haven't liked and subscribed, please do so. It means the world to me, and I look forward to seeing you next time.